I'm Mel Majoros. I am a 5-year cancer survivor. My blog, The Cancer Warrior, is one of the top 10 breast cancer blogs according to blogs.com. I'm here to bring a fresh, upbeat perspective to a topic that to some may seem scary. A positive mental attitude got me through my cancer, and I hope to share that with you. Today we are talking Team Martina, another great organization I found on the internet. I believe it was on Twitter. And we were talking to Sheila Jones. She is a team captain. And how are you today, Sheila?
Doing very well, thank you.
Excellent. So we were talking a little bit about before the show about how you got involved with Team Martina, but let's talk about how you became involved with just cancer in general, first of all.
Well, several years ago, as a lot of people get involved, I lost a friend to cancer, and it was really a turning point in my life. I never thought about cancer much before that. It was always someone else. And losing that friend that was my age, a young friend, just really was just an earth-shattering event in my life, and it made me see things differently. And I got involved in fundraising and cancer volunteer work, and it has just kind of snowballed from there, and I've been involved in it in that way for several years now.
And that's amazing. So how young was your friend when she passed away?
My friend was 40.
Wow.
So, yeah, and, when you're 40 and you get sick with cancer, and she wasn't sick very long, and left behind a young family, that is something, it's terrifying to see, but it also makes you, I think, go into a period of self-reflection. What are you doing with your life?
Right.
And with me, it was just all of a sudden, what can I do for the world? What can I do in her memory, not just to memorialize her, but how can I pay it forward? What can I go out in the world and do? It just sort of feels like you set the universe back right again, if you can take that bad thing that happened and turn it into something good.
Exactly. So now, did you found T Martina, or how did that get started? Or how did you get involved?
I did.
Okay.
I did, actually. I've been a Martina fan.
Martina McBride is who we're talking
Martina
about.
McBride, exactly. I've been a fan of hers for, over 17 years, I guess. I've really loved her music. And, she came out with this song last year that's about cancer, and it's called I'm Gonna Love You Through It. And when I heard that song, it kind of hit me like a bolt of lightning that suddenly I had this major intersection in my life of these two things that I'm interested in that play a big role in my life. It's cancer volunteer work and this artist that has this very touching, smash hit song that's all about loving people through cancer, and that's what I've been striving to do. So, of course, being a Martina McBride fan, I had other friends who were fans. And I approached them about forming, a group. How can we go and help cancer patients, and how can we do fundraising for research and so forth? And we started with just a few friends, and we got the ball rolling, and it just snowballed. We started getting people wanting to volunteer with us, and the word got around on the internet. And a year later, we've now had over 100 people volunteer with us. We've raised over $65,000 in a year's time for cancer causes.
Wow.
We have people all over the country that participate in this. We've got other Team Martina groups that have started up in 8 different states. So we've reached a lot of people, and the idea and the song really resonates with a lot of people. And so I feel very happy, that we've been able to reach out and grow this idea.
So how did, I know we're going to talk about the writers who wrote the song, but how did Martina McBride feel when all this came about?
Well, she contacted me and she let me know that she was very happy about it. And actually, we did our first breast cancer walk in the fall of 2011. and it was very successful. We did a 5-mile walk. It was in Nashville, Tennessee, and we had fans come from all over the country to join us in that walk. And the Christmas right after that walk, that would have been December of 2011 last year, we did our first hospital visit where we went in and visited cancer patients and brought gifts to them. That's another facet of our team. We don't just do cancer fundraising, but we also like to go and make personal visits to cancer centers and, help love people through cancer and
like an outreach.
Visit and bring gifts.
Nice.
And during that particular visit to the hospital last Christmas, Martina actually came with us.
Wow.
And we were very honored by that. She went and we sang Christmas carols to the people in the hospitals in Nashville, and we gave out gifts. And so that was a huge honor having her with us and having her collaborate with us. So that was wonderful.
That must have been just amazing for the cancer patients who were going through treatment to see Martina McBride walk in singing Christmas carols.
It was.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a day that we will never forget. I mean, it's huge in our memory, and that's so like Martina. For those that know her, if you don't know much about her, I can tell you that in the genre of country music, there's a lot of good that comes out of country music, but yes. Martina's even special over and above that. She does a lot of work for domestic violence prevention, for hunger prevention, and now for cancer. And she uses her music and her business and her work to put out a lot of positive energy in the world. And that was a lot of the reason for starting this team is because we wanted to do something that reflected that back as her friends, and something that kind of emulated that example that she had set in her life, for us to get this group of fans together to do something like she would do and then have her join us. That's just a huge honor.
Tell me, what were some of the cancer patients' reactions? Did they say anything to you or to her when she came in?
Sometimes speechless, and that's really, really special. And then we were singing Christmas carols, and some of them would sing along with us, and it was just heartwarming, very touching. I had lots of smiles that day.
Sorry to interrupt. I have to say that when, if you've never gone through chemo, and I hope, whoever hasn't never will, it's, you're very tired. A lot of times the chemo makes you feel sick, nauseous. It doesn't happen with everybody, but just to have somebody come in, even a perfect stranger, and try to lift your spirits, and then allow a celebrity. I mean, that's...
Exactly.
That's just, I'm speechless, trying to figure out a word to say how that would make me feel. I mean, that's just...
Well, it was Christmas time. It was actually just a few days before Christmas, and the reason that we picked that particular time is because one of our team members that had recently completed cancer treatments, she said that was the darkest time in my life when I was going through those treatments, and it was Christmas time, and I just felt like the world was coming to an end. It was quiet in the cancer center, and it was kind of dark. There was no joy. She said when I would walk outside the hospital, there was all this stuff going on with the Christmas music. She said I just couldn't get into it, and the shopping and all that, because I had just come out of that place. And she said, if you can bring some joy into that place close to Christmas, it would just be huge. So that's what we tried to do.
Wow. And I agree, especially, it's hard as chemo and treatment is hard anytime, but especially during the holidays, because it just messes with every single part of you, your body, your mind, your spirit, and just, I'm speechless. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And to have somebody of Martina McBride's caliber who would just be like, all right, let's do it. That's great.
Exactly. Just I'll meet you there. I'm coming.
No. So tell me how you were going to tell me how the writing team got started and this backstory of the song. I'm going to love you.
Yeah, the song itself has a really touching story behind it. So the song is called I'm Gonna Love You Through It. It was a top 5 hit last year. so much good has come out of this song. I know it's touched a lot of cancer patients, but really the song is all about, loving people through situations, whatever situation that it might be. And I was able to meet the co-writers of the song. The song is co-written by Sonia Isaacs and a couple of other writers. And I really got to be friends with Sonia and talk to her about this song. And what's really special is Sonia and Martina chose to have actual real cancer survivors in the video for the song. And if you know much about the song, you've probably seen the video. It's a lot of people telling about their cancer experiences and who loved them through it. It's a number of ladies saying, it was my dad or my husband or my sister or my kids. A very touching video. I know you can look it up online and watch it if you haven't seen it. But Sonia actually wrote the song about her mom's experience with breast cancer. It was years and years ago. One of the ladies that appears in the video for the song is named Tara, and I was actually able to find her. She lives in Nashville, and I asked her if she would be part of Team Martina. And she is a really special lady. She was only 38 years old when she was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer, and that was in 2010. And when I approached her last year about being part of Team Martina, she was in remission and cancer-free at that time. Since then, since she's been participating with us, her cancer has come back.
Oh, no.
So I have been able to get her and Martina and Sonia, the writer of the song, together, and we have brought people that were actually in the video for the song together with us on this team. So, it is just, it's a miracle story that's coming together because Martina fans have actually, gathered around Tara since she has been diagnosed. Her cancer has come back. It's now stage 4. Oh. And she's in the video for the song, and Martina fans have just adopted her. Tara has lost her house and her business due to all the medical debt with 2 cancer, diagnoses.
Yes.
And, it's just, she has 4 children, and it's just this powerful situation coming together with Martina fans coming to love on this cancer patient. And Tara is someone who just wants to pay it back into the world. So we see a lot of good. Everyone's trying to make good where cancer's trying to pull back, and bring us down. And we've got the situation where everyone is coming together to make good out of this. So that's kind of a little bit in the nutshell what the real story that's going on behind that song is. And the story is continuing. We haven't seen it all unfold yet. The story of Tara and her husband and her children. Mm-hmm. She's right in the middle of the battle right now. She's going through chemo, and we're just trying to love her through it and stay by her side. And she's got Martina fans from all over the country, cheering her on and supporting her.
And I think people who are going through treatment tend to forget that there's a lot of people who are behind them. Like you said, being a Martina McBride fan, like you said, Team Martina is behind you. And I know when I was going through treatment, I felt very alone and lost. And then when I finally reached out to someone and said, hey, this, I'm feeling kind of left out, or I don't, you don't want to be the cancer girl and be like, oh yeah, I don't feel well. Cause it's kind of a weird thing that you feel that way. But I mean, I know that everybody wants to help you, but you don't feel like you want to say, oh, I feel bad that I have cancer. I don't want to bother, my friend Heather or my friend Sonia again. But once you realize that they're like, well, what do you need? What can I do for you? And like you said, even Martina McBride fans, I mean, people who are just like you said, they don't know Tara, but they're happy to help her in any way they can.
Exactly. And, through social media, we can come together so easily and so quickly. One of our team members put together a project for Tara. We asked that everyone that we touched in social media, if they would make a sign for Tara saying, "We're going to love you through it," and if they would post that sign on our Facebook, "We're loving Tara through it," and we would tag her in all those pictures. So when she was going through her chemo and when she was at her sickest, she could pull those pictures up and look at them. And we actually had a donor that for a period of time, I think it was the first couple hundred pictures we received, they would donate money for every picture that we received, and it would go into cancer research. So we've been able to do some big things to, even at a distance, come together and stay by her and have her feel like we're right there with you.
Now, when is she going to be finished with treatment?
Actually, it's going to be ongoing for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's right in the middle of the battle, and they're watching what's going to happen right now.
Well, that's a bummer. That's why we have these organizations to get rid of. I always say my job is to put myself out of a job as a cancer advocate.
Exactly. So, I would love for Team Martina to just go back to being people that enjoy music and, get together and enjoy each other's company.
Exactly. Now tell me how you and Halos of Hope got together in helping out cancer patients.
Yeah, Halos of Hope is a fantastic organization that I found online earlier this year. I was looking for something tangible that I could hand out when Team Martina goes to hospitals to visit cancer patients, something useful, and especially going into the wintertime. And, we're a group of people, and some of us can knit and sew, but I think, as a group, we didn't either have the time or that much talent to get a lot of stuff together. We would collect things from donors, like we would put chapsticks and books and puzzle books and things like that in Christmas stockings and hand them out at Christmas time. But when I found Halos of Hope, I found an organization that has volunteers all over the country that actually knit hats, handmade hats, for people who are losing their hair. They make them for men, women, and children. And so I contacted them and I told them the story of T Martina, and I said, "Hey, can you guys help us out, sponsor us? We really want to hand your hats out in hospitals this fall." So they were happy to do that. And I would encourage anybody that has that talent of being able to knit or crochet, that is something that you can do to help cancer patients. You can volunteer from anywhere in the country with Halos of Hope, make your hats and send them in, and they will make sure that they get to cancer centers around the country. So we were able to serve 200 cancer patients with hats this fall. So that was huge going into the fall and winter.
That's amazing. I know, because you never think about, luckily a lot of people didn't know I was going through treatment because it was wintertime here in Michigan, and I usually wear baseball hats and everything anyway, but it's, even in the summertime, you'd be surprised how cold you get with no hair.
Yeah. And sometimes, some of these hats were really special. They were really, really extra soft. And there were even some that were designed to be worn at night, because I know that sometimes cancer patients experience pain on their scalp. So, they had even some special things going on like that.
That's awesome. Now tell me about the Martina McBride Breast Cancer Research Initiative. So I'm looking on your Facebook page through the TJ Martell Foundation. That's a long thing to say for Vanderbilt.
It is.
But you've raised over $21,000 so far. So
actually we are up to, we hit 24,000, and we have been fundraising for right at 8 weeks now. So it's just this phenomenal thing that's happening right before our very eyes. Since Team Martina has started, we have done breast cancer walks, and we've done the in-person visits in the hospital. So we were looking for our next project, and I found the T.J. Martell Foundation in Nashville, and since we do a lot of our work, we're, kind of based in Nashville, that's where we congregate. I found out that the T.J. Martell Foundation actually supports the Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center that is in Nashville, Tennessee. So I went and I told them, introduced T Martina to them and said, what can we do to help this cancer center in Nashville? So we all got together and we said, Martina has done so many good things in the world. It would be really cool if we could name a breast cancer grant after her. And it would be something that her fans would fund. So that's what we did, exactly. A couple months ago, we started this breast cancer grant. It's the first ever named after her for the Cancer Center in Nashville. And fans have been fundraising online and social media. They have been having car washes and bake sales all over the country in several different states. And they're fundraising for this grant. And a number of us were actually able to go to Nashville a few weeks ago and visit the hospital and the cancer center and see exactly where this money is going to go for this grant.
Oh, nice.
And I was just blown away touring, a real cancer laboratory, seeing real live research going on. Talking to the doctors and the researchers there, about how they do what they do and what they're going to do with the money that we send them. So that was really special for us to go and be able to be hands-on with the place that the money is going to and be able to do it in Martina's name.
And, Martina McBride is a rock star, but, in my eyes, these researchers and scientists are rock stars, and they are the unsung heroes.
Yes,
in medicine,
definitely.
and just
it was so good. Yeah, it was so good to go visit them, and shake their hands.
Yes, because I don't think they don't get the recognition they deserve. No. Like you see on TV, everyone's like, oh yeah, so and so, but look at what Martina McBride is doing as a celebrity. A lot of people just don't use their celebrity for anything. They're just like, okay, well, here I am on a TV show, and that's all I do. But here she is. I mean, you're able to visit the people who could one day cure cancer.
Exactly.
And just think, in 5-10 years, hopefully even less, you could have said, I was a part of that.
Yeah, and we never know. We never know which dollar,
right,
is going to be it. It's going to be the tipping point for a particular type of cancer. And that's exactly what the doctors and researchers told us there in the hospital. And also, it was a really wonderful thing that they told us is that the money that we raise can actually be, leveraged into bigger grants. So some folks may feel, well, I can only give a little, and I don't feel like that will make that big of an impact. But when we all get together and give a little, it can turn into something so much bigger.
Exactly.
And right now we're looking at a fundraising project that's kind of beyond our wildest dreams.
What is that? Or this?
The
24,000.
That our original goal a few weeks ago was to raise $15,000.
Oh.
So we have just blown that out of the water. With country music fans donating to this, it's just huge.
I think they need to get the CMAs involved. I'm just saying, if there's any producers listening.
Yeah. Well, I'm working right now on getting the word out, to everybody. Everybody in the country, I want to tell them what Martina fans are doing, but also, this is not just about Martina fans. It's country or music fans in general.
Exactly.
There are several other artists that have fan groups that have done things like this in the past and probably will in the future. So T Martina would love to kick off a movement, among country music fans with cancer volunteer work or just to pay it forward volunteerism, because there's a lot of energy and a lot of passion and love behind country music.
I agree. And there's nothing better than paying it forward, especially when you do it anonymously. That's what I don't know. That's what I like to do. Even if it's just, I was reading an article on Facebook. There was a Target store where somebody paid $161. This bill that she rang up at the register and she couldn't pay, and an anonymous person, and it just set off a chain reaction. Not everyone can pay $161, but the person had $20, so she could pay the person behind them, and then that just set off an amazing chain reaction. Just imagine, like you said, $1 may not make a difference. One person can't change the world, but I don't believe that. Look at Gandhi. Look at what you're doing. It's just amazing.
Exactly, and it is a movement. It's a change in our thought process.
Yes.
And I know I've gone through that in my life. I never used to think about charity that much, and now I'm always looking for opportunities to give.
Well, what is the sound check for a cure?
Sound check for a cure, actually, that is an event where we are going to be able to personally get together with Martina. Our team, that's going to be their reward for all of this fundraising.
Nice.
They get to go to the sound check that happens before one of her concerts.
Sweet.
So for all of the team members that have been working so hard and having the car washes and the bake sales, they are actually going to go and participate in this sound check and be able to request songs for her to sing and have personal interaction with her. So that was something huge for our team, and to have Martina come again and participate with us and support the T.J. Martell Foundation and Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center. That is a really special thing that's going to be happening in January. So we're all looking forward to that.
That's amazing. So do you already have an idea? Are you learning how to play the guitar so you can play with her or anything? A little harmonica, maybe bring a tambourine or something. So there's no pressure.
I'm going to tell you, when we sang the Christmas carols at the hospital back in December with Martina, some of us had to lead the song off, and I think a lot of people were intimidated. It's like, I can't sing with her.
You're like, it's Martina McBride. What are you talking about?
I couldn't convince the folks when I told them in the hall at the hospital. I was like, okay, we're going to sing. Martina's here and we're going to sing. And they're like, what? No, she's going to sing. Like,
yeah,
no,
they're
we're
like,
backing her up.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, they're not here to hear us sing. They're here to hear her sing. But yeah.
Yeah. We're the backup singers.
That must have been awesome singing with her. I just... or I think I would be so intimidated to be like mouthing the words like James Caan did.
Yeah, we had that, and we actually have a video of that day up on our website. It's at tmartina.com. We've got a page with all of our videos on that website, and we have that one up there because I thought that was really special.
That is special. So tambourine, that's what I'm thinking.
Tambourine, yeah.
Because there's no pressure there. If you mess up playing the tambourine, then seriously, you can't be in a band or with anybody, but come on.
Martina plays the harmonica on stage during her concerts, and it almost seems like she's singing and playing at the same time sometimes.
I believe it, because now you know what? I'm not much of a country fan, but you've definitely made me a Martina McBride fan, that's for sure.
You got to check it out. Her album that's out right now is called 11. Like the number 11, and that has the song I'm Gonna Love You Through It on it. And I think you'll love it.
I'm sure I will. Now, I know that people will want to get a hold of you, especially in the Nashville area, because they will want to participate with Soundcheck for a Cure. Is that where it's happening, in Nashville?
It's actually happening in West Virginia. We're going to have fans come from all over the country and be there. And, we've got our team in place. So, yeah, that's where it's going to happen, probably in the snow in January.
Oh, nice. Well, how can people get a hold of you when they want to start helping out Team Martina?
They can come to teammartina.com on the internet, and there's a contact form, contact us on there that they can fill out if they want to get in touch with me, or they can find us on Facebook at Team Martina, or they can find us on Twitter at Team Martina Team Martina 2011. That's 2011.
Awesome. So you're everywhere. And you can also find out information about Halos of Hope on on any one of those, or just contact you.
Exactly. Yeah, and you can look at halosofhope.org, I believe is their address also. But, yeah, we post information about them as well. So, yeah, I really invite everyone to get in and take a look at us and get on Twitter with us and start following, because we would love to hear about them and vice versa.
And start playing your tambourine now.
Yeah, start warming up. Get practice.
Or one of those little egg shaker things, because that's about all I'll be able to do, too. So, see, I told you the half hour would go by pretty fast, Sheila.
Definitely.
Well, this is awesome. This will be up tomorrow, which is Friday. And it was great talking to you, Sheila, and finally connecting with you via Twitter.
Yes,
Listen to how I said that, Twitter, like I was like English or something. But hang on, Sheila. I'm going to wrap up like I usually do. This is Mel Majoros. I'm the Cancer Warrior. You can always find me on Facebook because I am a Facebook junkie. The Cancer Warrior on EmpireRadio.com is my Facebook page for the show. Check out my blog, thecancerwarrior.blogspot.com. And as always, life looks pretty good from where I'm sitting. Sending you good vibes. It's the Cancer Warrior on EmpireRadio.com.